Many want to be the best, few have chased it. Even fewer have taken the podium. Most reached it with a team of engineers, mechanics, and sponsors. Ferrari, Mercedes-Benz, BMW. Yes, they won with engineering, obsession, and will. They became champions. I am me. No promises, no budget, no team. Just a car and me. Now I'm just an owner. But owning isn't enough. I want to open this Pandora's box. I want to find what is still broken, but I fear to touch. Then I'll invite what is good, because it won't come on its own. The car is a reflection of my choices. Not a tool I abuse, not a showpiece, not a race car, nothing special. Just my mirror image. I'm not chasing the podium. I'm chasing something more ethereal. Me.
This is my idea of how to change cars. So the ideas it came from is, combo stores. We got Taco Bell, Pizza Hut. Maybe it makes it more viable. Kind of just like combining of things to make it a little bit better. And this also comes from me working as a delivery guy, delivering pizzas. It was fun. I liked it. And I really liked it. So what is it? It's a test bed that allows mechanics to work on cars a lot, and it allows them to test things. And in the testing of things, you can get slightly better over time. And it's a fun idea. I think, I remember when I was delivering, I had this car. It was pretty close to death's door. And, maybe this would have made it last a little bit longer. And that's kind of why the idea exists in the first place. I also think there's an underserved market for simple cars. There's a lot of cars that are simple to produce because they got all the complex bits in one piece. That's the front wheel drive cars. They just put everything on that subframe, on that axle, and then just put it in the car. It's all good. And I don't want to fear needing to go to the mechanics. I wish to want. It's a time saver. Because you can do everything yourself. That's what I want. I don't want to be required to go to mechanics because it feels like it's limiting my choices. And then they can help each other, talking about my old car, maybe I just have the mechanics there. They look at it, it's like, okay, here's this, and that'll make it better. That's what I wish could have happened. The mission is to become the owner of the car. That means that you are responsible. You will take charge of this car. It's not just, I have the title, it's good enough. The target audience could be pizza eaters, probably just people around the city. That's kind of like the main driving force to make everything else possible. And then we have rich people who want uncompromised reliability. People are willing to make mods on their car and, just make it real simple and reliable. And then in the future, probably like DIY people who want ownership of their property, right to repair, those kind of things where they're people who want to take responsibility of their cars. And then fourth is just people who want reliable cars, people who want overbuilt cars that never break down. Kind of like Toyota, Honda, they have their reliability. Oh, you can run it with no oil, something like that. Obviously you can't, but the idea is that they never break down, no matter what. So the competitive landscape. So delivery fleets is probably the most competitive because, they probably have mechanics with them as well and that kind of thing. And they're kind of doing all the things that I'm talking about. And then we have performance parts shops. I think this might be a little bit different just because they're focusing on power, but obviously there can be part shops that focus on reliability. I just think I have a better edge. And here's how I discover customers. I'll be like, what do you hate about maintenance? And hopefully they give me an answer that I can use. And, hey, we have this toolless oil change that makes it real easily. You don't even have to get under the car. It just pumps oil out for you. That would be nice. And then pizza flyers. I have a basic understanding of advertising, and I think that will work. If you offer people cheap pizza, they will buy. Do you want parts tested by delivery vehicles? I think this is kind of like the idea that there's credibility with delivery vehicles, and if we start testing things and we find that things break and we make better things, then we won't have to, we can sell them, you know, at a higher price because they're tested and we know they work, kind of thing. So here's the missing thing. So we have proof of concept. I don't have a concept of this working. So I have a couple ideas. You know, I get a part-time job at a pizza shop, slowly build a car that has the reliability to never have a thing wrong. It's kind of like just build up that credibility. And then I could be a mechanic at a pizza shop or pizza shops. And I look over the cars, hey, your oil is a little low, let's top that up. Maybe a coolant flush, you know, kind of things that like, maybe they already have this. I didn't have it when I was at mine, but maybe some other stores do. The financial stability. I just get a lot of money and then fund this dream. That'd be easiest. I wouldn't have to ask anybody for help. Then make a plan for a number of pizzas, try to get a loan off that, start my own pizza shop. Another idea is to make a one-man pizza shop and just start making it. It reminds me of this video of a person who basically bought Walmart pizzas and then started selling them on DoorDash. And then he didn't continue it, but he like sold a couple of pizzas. That was fun. So what is my brand? Become the owner. Just take 100% responsibility of your car. And, you know, that kind of thing. Make it simple is, you know, try to use old things with new technology as well. So for example, you know, now we got VTEC and everything like that. What if we just had single overhead cams? Not as efficient. But maybe we used modern valves and try to see what kind of reliability we could get out of that. And then innovation through convenience. That's like a toolless oil change. Maybe you don't even need to get underneath the car. Then the knowability of problems. This probably come down to using sensors, advanced detection techniques through pattern recognition, things like that. And then gradual improvement, iterative. You know, we're making our own parts. Maybe it's like there's that video I saw of printing your own car. It's a play clip right here from it.
What?
I downloaded this vehicle.
What do you mean?
Well, my mate Peter has this Hellgood 3D printer, so he hacked the Toyota mainframe and downloaded this here Hilux.
And it's just like this gradual improvement over time. It's just going to be iterative, and it's going to be a lot of time, a lot of testing, but you know, get that better result. And then we're going to implement time test ideas. What's something that's time tested? We got things like fuel injectors. You know, they're starting to go out with direct injection, but you know, what if we made them better? What could we do? Another time tested thing is, you know, rear wheel drive. It's simpler. It's worked a long time. We could do it. The only compromise is I will have to learn. I mean, that's going to be hard. Obviously, at the beginning, I'll probably have to, you know, borrow other people's knowledge. I won't be able to do it on my own. But, you know, I'll just have to keep this in the back of my head. I will have to learn. Location and logistics. So, you know, this is just dreaming. You know, outskirts of town, 2-3 cities nearby, and, you know, got a big field. Maybe we would have enough room for a racetrack. It'd be pretty cool. And, you know, we have to start real simple. So pizza, it's going to be cheese, pepperoni, just 2 pizzas. Kind of make it real simple in order to save cost. And then a single type of car. Maybe just get like 6 Nissan Versas and, you know, run them until they can't anymore, and, you know, just replace those parts, maybe get better parts, make them yourself, that kind of stuff. And then we got fun ideas, you know, paper cup testing for drivers. You know, you spill a paper cup that you put in your center console, and while you're driving, you're probably going to damage the pizzas, so, you know, gotta protect those pizzas with good driving. We could have a fleet of A86s. That'd be my dream. Just like delivery, and it'd just be fun. It wouldn't be much more than that. And then I'd also have this idea of cutting up cars, making them smaller. I mean, for pizza delivery, usually you don't need that much space. And, you know, I'm usually commuting with just me in the car. You know, there's 5 other spaces. You know, I'm not doing that much. Then I do have this idea of making my own engines with 3D printing and 3D printing sand and casting them. I think that would be extremely cool to have. it'd be very difficult. Maybe start making with just other parts, like a housing for a thermostat or something like that. And then I'd like to change cars. I'd make them easy to repair. The OEM has a one way, I'll make it a different way. And then my slogan, just good pizza. Nothing too crazy. Just quality pizza. And then car parts, this could be like the engaging slogan. Own your car. Take responsibility. It's yours. Just that idea that you are in charge. Hopefully give people a little bit of an existential crisis. Be great. So I'll need money. What kind of money do I need? I need about $10 million. So it's going to be about $1 million once it starts. And these are just numbers I made up, so don't worry about that. And then the first, second attempt is probably going to fail a couple times. Probably about $2 million there. And then about $2 million for embezzlement. And then probably about, you lose half of the things in divorce, so $5 million for that. It's my plan, It's a pretty rough plan, but we'll see how it works out. And then if you already have something like this, I would like to consider this my application. I do like cars, and I do like delivering pizza. And thank you for watching.